This is Big T Davis with Bubba Bass Anglers, and we're still working on the Bubba Bass Tackle Box, and the first box we want to put out there is our favorite baits. So not only our favorite baits, but our most productive baits. So me, Ed, and Bub got together and went through and decided on which baits we liked the most. So first we're going to check out Ed's baits, then Bub's baits, and then mine. So let's check out Ed's. This is Big T Davis with Bubba Bass Anglers. And I'm here with winner of Angler of the Year 2018 from Massachusetts, Ed Whitaker. What's up, Ed?
Nothing. What's happening?
So we're going around trying to find everybody's favorite bait so we can build this first Bubba Bass Tackle Box. What you got for us, Ed?
Well, this is my favorite bait, and it's the Spro Poppin' Frog. I use this more than any other frog, and it works just about anywhere.
What do you mean anywhere?
Anywhere. Lily pads, weed beds, grass beds, wood, under trees, anywhere you can throw a frog, even open water.
Now, do you have other frogs?
I do. I have plenty. I have a whole box of frogs, but this one gets the most attention because it works.
So nothing performs like the Spro.
Not in my opinion.
Now, how long have you had that frog?
This one is new, but I've had the same frog for about 3 years until we had a little mishap.
What happened to the other one?
It got thrown over the boat on the highway. Snapped my rod, tip in half, and got wrapped up in the axle of the trailer and was covered in oil. I actually still have it, but it only holds sentimental value now. It doesn't get used anymore.
So it got oil and junk all over it.
Oh, it's clean now.
It's clean now?
It's clean now, but I don't know. The hooks are bent up. And
I didn't even know Spro made frogs.
yeah, they do, what is it? Dean Rojas? It's his signature
he's
frog.
A big frogger,
so,
yeah.
you know, they make the one without the cupped front end.
Yeah.
And that one cuts through vegetation a little bit better, but I think the Poppin' Frog works the best. I mean, I use it more than that one. The other one's good too. In the I think it's a 65 size. It's bigger. It's a little bit bigger, but this one to me, I think the Poppin' action, I think it draws the fish's attention a little bit more.
Okay. What's the retail on that?
You should be able to find it under $10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spro. Any special name? Just Spro Poppin' Frog?
I believe, yeah, or it might be the Dean Rojas Poppin' Frog, something along those lines.
And that's definitely your number one bait.
I'd have to say so.
Ed's like the Ish Monroe of the crew. He loves frogging like nobody. I mean, we all love frogging, but Ed really loves frogging.
Yeah, when you get on a good pattern, you can really light them up with the frog. It's like watching Jaws. There's no, in my opinion, there's nothing more exciting than watching a bass just blow up on a top water bait. So.
All right. So we'll see if we can find that. Thanks a lot, Ed.
No problem.
See you on the next video. You excited about opening day?
I'm excited about May.
Warm weather, right?
I don't get excited until May. Once the temperature's above 60, then we're talking. But we'll see what happens before then.
All right.
Gotta get a line on the water.
All right. Peace out.
Peace.
Bubba Bass Anglers here with Bubba himself.
Yeah.
Bub, let's talk about your two favorite baits.
My two favorite baits.
Let's talk about the two baits that you have out, okay?
Yeah, let's do that. So it's favorite bait, most productive bait. That's what I'm calling it. So historically, my favorite bait has got to be the good old-fashioned cotton cordell Big O. You guys see me go and retrieve this particular bait out of a tree because that's the love I have for it. And it's just the first bait we kind of started using when we were bass fishing, because a guy named Slim told us it caught him 40 bass up at the falls in one day, which was, to this day, we know, a lie. But it has caught big bass, seems to catch either dinks of other species or hook monster bass.
Perch like to grab onto that thing for some reason.
Yep, they sure do.
And it's a perch color.
Yep, I've used it in the perch color here, white, and then the chartreuse. Those are the three colors of it that I throw. It stinks because our waters are so weedy that, you know, it's tough to fish a crank, but I'm learning more and more about it by, you know, weighting the front or, you know, making it run at different depths. And so this is my favorite bait. If I could just throw cranks everywhere 24/7, that's what I would do.
And that's the Cotton Cordell Big O.
Cotton Cordell
And
Big O.
a little trivia. That's what he had on his line when he hooked. It looked like a 3-pounder at Quabbin Reservoir.
Oh,
and
I
lost
think
it.
that fish was much larger than 3 pounds.
You know the cover of Field and Stream magazine where they show the bass coming out of the water shaking its head?
Its head.
That's what he had. So that's what he lost that fish on. And that is the fish that Ed said, I want to catch a Bubba Bass. Bubba Bass meaning the fish that Bub almost caught, which was a big bass. Bubba Bass Anglers. That's how we came up with the name.
Started.
Big Bass. Bubba Bass, Big Bass. All right, what's your next one?
Story. So the next one, I guess it's a combination. I fish 8 million things off of it, right? We fish in Massachusetts where stuff gets tough. So it is literally a little. It comes in either 2/0, 3/0, anywhere from 3/16 of an ounce. I think I might go down to 1/8 sometimes. Just a little finesse jig. It's an owner setup. It's got a real stout hook for the size, so it's kind of cool. But you can fish it on a fast action, medium spinning tackle rod or casting gear, whatever you want. And I throw a multitude of baits on it, but the one I probably throw the most is the Zoom Fat Albert Twin Tail Grub, which I just love. Watermelon black and red seed, black and blue, and then sometimes the white with silver flake, are probably the 3 colors, but this watermelon with the red and black flake the most. And I mean, it's a simple little rig. It just literally goes on as a weedless, push it all the way up, comes right out the back of the tail, so it's real easy to just throw every place. I like this particular jig because of line tie. It's kind of a little forward in the head when you're pulling it through cover. It's a real small line tie on there, so it doesn't get hung up, get weeds on it. It really comes through weedless. Don't laugh at me because I just squished that on there and threw it on horribly, but you get the point. But you can fish this so many different ways in terms of dragging it on bottom, swimming it back with the legs kicking, the bouncing it, leaving it dead. There's almost no wrong way to fish it, and I've been hit every which way with it. Even used this to this is what I was long lining when I caught the nice 5-pounder at Quabbin. So it's just my most productive. When the bites get tough, this keeps fish coming in that I don't lose hope.
All right.
That's it.
Those are Bubba's baits.
Bubba's baits.
We'll be back on Bubba Bass Anglers with Big T's baits.
There you go.
All right, so we got 3 baits so far. We got a Spro Poppin' Frog from Ed. We got a Fat Albert Twin Tail Grub and a Jig Head from Bub. And for me, and I think you know what I'm about to pull off the rack here. one of my big time go-to baits is the Zoom Fluke. So, most of y'all probably know who Fluke Master is. I used to watch his channel all the time. And every time I watch his videos, I wait for him to pull out a fluke to show everybody why he's a Fluke Master. So, instead of waiting for him to pull out the video, publish a video about flukes, I decided to buy a bag of flukes and check them out. I had no idea how to fish these things. I bought the bag, I looked at it, and I threw it in the water, and it looked just like a fish. It looked just like a bait fish. So I twitch it, you know, and swim it along, and I started getting bites like crazy with these things. So I bought a ton of bags of these flukes. The pickerel love these things, but the bass love them too. I can always get bites on these, especially if the bass are schooling and just smacking down bait fish. This is what you want to throw in the water. We were at Horn Pond one night and we saw the bass busting on bait fish. So I put on a fluke, cast it out there. I got three catches in a row real quick. So I basically took advantage of the school, threw it out there, reeled one in, threw it out there, reeled another one in. We don't really see that, you know, bass busting on schools that much where we fish. So I saw an opportunity, I took it, fell in love with the fluke. So this is always in my bag. Okay, next item that I absolutely have to have with me now are the Kitech micro jigs. These things are tiny. I mean, you could see the jig next to my index finger. It's really, really small. And I think the size of, I don't know if it says the size of the hook on here. It says number 3, so it's probably a 3 size hook. I mean, it's a tiny hook, something that you'd probably use to catch crappie or bluegill. But you throw a grub on one of these things, you get the perfect presentation. I've caught decent sized smallmouth with these micro jigs. I love finesse fishing. So when I didn't even know they were going to be this big. I was looking for finesse jigs. I saw the Kitech jigs. So I ordered it and I got it and I'm like, damn, this thing's tiny. I didn't think it was that tiny when I looked. I should have looked at the weight, but they're just like really small jigs. And I decided to use it at Quabbin. Sure enough, I was getting hits on it. You know, I was getting smallmouth on these little smallmouth. Love small things. They like tiny things. I don't know if it has to do with the size of their mouth or whatever, but they like tiny presentations. So I was getting hit on this, caught some decent smallmouth with this. So I love finesse jigs, love fishing Kitech micro jigs. They're great on spinning gear. This one's only 332s. It's super light, but you add a nice grub on here and you can get some additional weight to it. So those are the other 2 items we're going to add to the first Bubba Bass Tackle Box, which is in alpha right now. Still got a long way to go. Did some box art for it. Found some boxes, decent sized boxes. One of the things I don't know if I mentioned this before. One of the things I don't like about the Lucky Tackle Box and the Mystery Tackle Box, I don't like the whole mystery of it. I feel if you're paying somebody $15, $25 a month for a box of baits, box of lures, or whatever, you should know what you're getting for your money. I mean, I guess the mystery thing is kind of cool at first, but you open the box and you're like, what the hell is this? You know? And for some people, those random baits are cool. I got some random baits out of mine, but I feel that if I'm spending money, I want to know what I'm getting for my money. So I'm taking the whole mystery thing out of the equation. So when we do our boxes, we're going to publish a video. We're going to talk about the baits that we're putting on our box. So there's no mystery to it, because you may not want to fork over money for the box. You know, you may say, oh, that box sucks, I'm not going to get this one. So I'm still working that out, but it's all going to be on Patreon. Another thing I don't like about it, I don't like when they send sample bags. Case in point. This is a sample bag from Big Bite Baits. It has 4 swim baits in it, and you can see the bag is even half size. And I think this typically comes with 8 baits. But they get these little sample sizes and they throw this in these tackle boxes. It's like, what if you get this and it's really dope and you really like it? You know, then you got to go back and order more. You know, I mean, I guess that's the whole point, is to order more anyway, but Are you going to order it from Carl's or, Lucky, or are you going to go to Tackle Warehouse and get it if you really fall in love with it, But why the sample size bags? I don't get why they do that. What's the reason for that? Give me a full bag of plastics, And I know it's like half price. I think these are like $2.99 or whatever. But shit, give me a full bag so I can fish with it. Fish it to death. And then, like I said, some random stuff is cool. Case in point, this is a random bait that I got in one of the boxes. I thought that was pretty cool. So, the random stuff's going to be cool, but I would think the whole point of this is you get something you like, and then you keep buying it and you keep fishing it. The way I work is I find a bait I like, I buy a ton of it, I keep using that bait. I got a ton of Cincos, I got a ton of Z-Man products, I got a ton of Flukes and Rage Tails. These are things I've caught fish with, coffee tubes, ton of them. Cotton Cordell Big O's. I keep buying those baits because they keep working. And when you find something, as an angler, you typically stick with it, right? So, that's the whole point. So, the reason why we're putting this box together, it's fun. We want to turn a little profit with it, just a little bit. I'm not running around doing all this stuff for my health, just for you guys, that enjoy it. I'm doing it for you, but I'm also doing it. I'm hoping I can turn a little profit, and I can use those profit for prizes or whatever, buy a fishing license, whatever, just a little bit. But I think it's fun, and I think the fact that we're giving you baits that we've caught fish with makes it that much better. These baits work. You can pretty much take a piece of tinfoil and shape it into a bait fish and put a weight on it and throw it in the water. You'll probably get a bite. But we're particular about our colors, about our presentation. Anglers are particular about what they use. My colors are watermelon green, watermelon red flake, green pumpkin. I use the same colors all the time. Black, blue flake. I don't really pick any of the crazy colors that don't make sense to me. If you look at my wall, that's what I got. So, that's it. So those are the baits that are going in the first Bubba Bass Tackle Box. And there'll be some other stuff in there, added value. You got to have added value. So we're going to be putting some other stuff in there. It's a lot of work. I'm hoping the first box is ready during the dog days of summer. Dog days of summer are after the spawn's over and the bass are hiding under those lilies. There's going to be a lot of frogging, a lot of top water, a lot of crazy stuff. We call it the dog days of summer. So I'm hoping to get the box out during the first box during the dog days of summer, and then put out a box every month. Still trying to figure everything out. Thanks for watching, and thanks for supporting the channel. Peace.